Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Objectively Speaking, which is rather ironic today because we won't actually be speaking about anything objectively, more progressively. Now, everything in this world is subject to an opinion. Everybody has an opinion about everything. But if there's one thing in this country that should be taken at face value with no kind of bias whatsoever, that's the United States Constitution. And I'm here to tell you about a specific part of that Constitution that is in the Bill of Rights known as the Second Amendment, which is the right to keep and bear arms. Now, the wording in the Second Amendment has been under debate for years. Why, I don't know. However, it reads, "A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." Now, why some politicians feel the need to debate this into the ground is beyond me. But it's part of the Constitution, it's set in stone, it's not up for debate. And there's a lot of people that feel the same way. And some of those people are in a group called Come and Take It. The main group is the Come and Take It America branch, and there are several smaller branches, usually from state to state. I had just happened to be at a rally that was held by the Come and Take It Texas group here in Austin at the Capitol on the 13th. They were rallying for HB 195, which is a bill that will allow open, not just open carry, but a constitutional carry in the state of Texas. Now, I won't go into all the legal jargon that's in HB 195, but pretty much the long and short of it is that if you can legally purchase a handgun in the state of Texas, if HB 195 passes, you will be able to legally open carry that handgun. Now, this has put a few people on edge, and especially while I was out with the Caddy Texas guys, some of them had rifles on their backs, and it freaked a few people out. And I can understand if you're ignorant and if you don't know what's going on and you don't know who they are, but they had big signs that said that they were part of Come and Take It. They weren't the only ones out there. Members of Open Carry Texas were out there, and a couple of others that I can't remember off the top of my head. But what's funny is that there were a couple of people that were talking about how there were kids that were walking by, or there were kids in their cars or whatever that were kind of freaked out by these guys who were carrying guns. Now, I gotta ask you guys something. Did these kids really look freaked out to you? I didn't think so. They were actually just curious about what was going on. And there was a lot of stuff going on. We had a guy named Murdoch. He was out in front of the Capitol with a CNC machine, and he was cutting out parts of a lower 80 receiver. Got an interview with him. Actually, I think I'm going to let him tell you exactly what they were doing out there. Alright guys, I'm here with Mr. Murdoch here from Come and Take It Texas. He's going to explain to us what's going on and what they're doing out here, and maybe a little bit about what's going on with the Ghost Gunner machine over here. So, Murdoch, what can you tell me about what's going on out here today, sir?
Today we are rallying for HB 195. It's the constitutional open carry bill by Stickland.
Right on, which I do support, by the way. I support HB 195.
Great.
So tell us a little bit about what's going on out here for people that might not know exactly what this is and what it means and all that fun stuff.
Well, to boost attendance and to boost media attention and draw everybody out here so that we can push forth HB 195 through the legislative session, we brought out the Ghost Gunner machine by Defense Distributed. This is its debut. This is the first time in public that it's out here actually manufacturing firearms, and we're doing it in front of the Capitol building today. We're taking lower 80 AR receivers, throwing them in there, and the CNC machine is milling out the other required holes to make that into an actual firearm.
Right on. And just for clarification, this is not any kind of illegal activity. This is perfectly legal. It's legitimate.
Absolutely.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with doing this. And even though we're standing less than probably 150 yards from the Capitol.
Well, you know, people do this all the time in their own homes.
Oh, absolutely.
Typically, it's been done with gunsmiths and people that have a higher knowledge and a technical skill about themselves to manufacture this to specs. This machine kind of supersedes all of that and lets the average person do that for themselves.
All right, right on. Well, this has been Murdoch. I'm Neo, signing off. Now, just for clarification, that was a CNC machine. Now, it's not a 3D printer. Yes, there is a difference. Now, also while I was out there, I got a chance to interview Matt Short. He is the PR director for Come and Take It Texas. Here's his interview that I had. All right, guys, I'm now here with Matthew Short. He's the PR director, you said, for Come and Take It? PR officer for Come and Take It. So he's going to explain to us what's going on here and pretty much let us know that what is going on and all these guns here are absolutely legal. There's nothing wrong with it. So to educate the masses about people that come out here and they think that this is actually not legal. You've got guns and open carry is not legal in Texas, and how does that make this, an okay event? How does this go on without anybody being arrested or any of that?
Well, in all actuality, it's completely lawful for us to be carrying long guns in public, just like me and my friends are doing here. We also want to have that opportunity and that constitutional right to bear our arms as free men.
Absolutely.
In Texas, we can't do that with a modern-day pistol. We can only do it with a pre-1899 black powder or replica, which would be considered an antique or curio item.
So black powder guns are technically, you can open carry those legally in the state of Texas.
You can, yes.
But if it's, say, like if I wanted to bring my Glock 19 out here without a CHL permit, I'm in the wrong. I'm violating Texas state law, right?
That would be illegal, yes.
Okay.
Now you could conceal one, but you have to get a permit and a background check through the state.
And that requires going and taking the classes, getting the CHL courses.
Correct.
All that stuff.
Correct.
Okay.
Texas, we want to join the rest of the nation, the other 44, 45 states.
There's a lot of them
that already have open carry. Just recently came back from Missouri for Christmas. While I was there, I was walking around with a 9mm in my back pocket. I'm sure part of the handle was showing, but Missouri is a constitutional carry state.
Yes, it is.
So you get to choose whether you want to carry concealed or in the open. Most of the time, it has something to do with responsibility. Make sure you're not pointing your firearm at people.
Right,
you're
gun
not a threat
safety
to other
and-
people
exactly.
around you. More people die by hammers and knives and cars in this country, but nobody's trying to regulate those things, or apart from an automobile, get a regulatory thing from the government,
Absolutely.
pay taxes on having to use those tools.
Right.
So there's a lot of reasons why people want to have personal self-defense. Our rights here in this country are inalienable. That means that you cannot put a lien upon them. And in those inalienable rights, we are to be free in our persons, our property, and however, what better way than to do it by protecting yourself with a tool that ensures your safety and your freedom, or at least gives you a heck of a great chance of surviving a robbery, a murder, a rape, or something like
Exactly. I know that there was several statistics that came out last year towards the end of 2014 that were talking about all the different gun crimes that have been committed in the United States versus all the what was the word they used? It was all the thwarting of any kind of crime, whether it was a gun crime or a home invasion or anything, from a law-abiding citizen that had a firearm. And the number of gun crimes committed by people that still had criminal backgrounds and somehow were able to still manage to get a gun, that statistic was much higher than people that use their gun in defense. To me, I think that a firearm is a defensive weapon. I'm not going to go out and I'm not going to use it to strike terror, to strike fear, use it for my own personal gain. It is to protect me, my family, my daughter, my parents, whoever I happen to be with. I'll defend the man standing next to me if I think that his life is in danger. That's just the kind of guy I am.
Not to mention, look at around you here today. They got a lot of people talking and laughing and having a good time. I think we have more activists with this group here today, and the numbers are actually starting to go down than any other group of activists had out here on the opening day of legislation. It's actually becoming really popular with everybody in the local areas that this has been happening in, and I really hope to see constitutional carry pass in Texas for our modern day handguns. Now, to talk about how lawful this is, me and another gentleman actually got stopped on the way here a little bit ago.
Oh, really?
And the police had been called. People said that there was guys running around with rifles.
Rifles, yeah.
So the first thing that happened is the officer came up to me, and I didn't get a chance to get it on video because I didn't want to put my hands in my pockets.
Right, yeah, that's all. Whenever you see one, they're coming up to you, you keep your hands where they can see them. And
the first thing she asked me was, is your rifle loaded? And I told her, I said, well, ma'am, I don't think I have to answer your questions. I'm not doing anything illegal. And she was like, well, for officer safety, is your weapon loaded? And I again said, I have Fourth Amendment right to not have to be searched or seized or have questions asked of me, and I don't have to answer questions.
Exactly.
But then I was really nice. I told her my name. I told her I was PR officer with Caddy. We were making ghost guns on the Capitol steps today, and
how'd she take that?
They kind of were like this when her colleague showed up. He asked me. He said, "Why are you guys out here?" And I said, "Well, obviously, you can tell by my shirt I'm an activist, and we're some of the guys working towards open carry in the state of Texas with constitutional carry." And he said, "Well, you know, with the thing that just happened in Paris and these other things, people are worried when they see others out in the public with guns." Well, one of the things that I'm always careful when people walking up close to me too.
Yeah, I understand
But
that.
one of the things that you have to look at is like the Paris shooting. They have a gun-free society over there. Now, somehow these people got their hands on guns in a
Yep.
gun-free society,
Yep.
and now people are dead because of it, and they want to enact new legislation over in France.
Yep.
They've wanted to do that here in America.
Yep.
When really, the way you do it is you put the power of freedom back into people's hands.
Absolutely, and I agree. And I actually saw I didn't see it. I was one of many people who commented on there's a site out there, Cop Block. I'm not associated with them. I just watch them. Called Cop Block, and they had actually posted a video on there when it first happened, when the shootings at Charlie Hebdo happened, and it was raw footage, and it wasn't, I wouldn't say graphic, but it still it gives you chills to the bone to see these people lose their lives over something as trivial as a cartoon.
Right.
And many people in the comments had been talking about the person who filmed from the window or the lower rooftop when the officer was killed, that actually had a direct view of them getting into their car and leaving. What would have happened if they had actually had an assault rifle, if they had an AR-12 or an AR-15 or anything of that nature? What could have happened? Could it have been prevented? Could it have saved lives instead of cost more?
More and more, we're seeing a lot of different websites actually starting to post stories about people that are saving lives around them with good people that have guns. A lot of that's not making it out to the mainstream media, but we know it's happening.
True.
If you look at statistics alone, just as the gun sales have been rising over the past few years in our nation, the violent crimes, rapes, robberies, murders, those have been declining. So if you look at the statistics, guns actually make our streets better. And at Caddy, we say an armed society is a polite society.
Absolutely. Well, Matthew, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So as you can see, there's a lot of people out there that are very passionate about their gun rights. And a lot of these guys are not just gun rights activists, they are constitutionalists. They believe that the Constitution is not to be interpreted in any way other than what is on the paper. And I agree. So before I sign off, I'm going to show you guys a couple more pictures that I took. There was one lady out there, I don't remember her name. I'm so bad with names, it's so embarrassing. But there was a lady out there who actually had ironically, a Moms Demand Action t-shirt, and we all signed it, and it was hilarious. It was very fitting. But there were a bunch of guys out there that were just laughing and having a good time. And here's some of the guys that we were having fun with and hanging out with all day. You can see Matthew and Murdoch there. The guy on the right that's got the lower 80, that's Jacob. And these guys are the leaders of the Come and Take It Texas group. And I mean, they're real knowledgeable guys. They're real cool. You know, they can talk to you. They can tell you what's going on. They're real knowledgeable about the laws and pretty much just everything like that. And they were just so much fun to hang out with and to talk to. And then of course here's our not Mom's Demand mom. I love her sign, by the way, carrying the apropos "Don't Tread on Me" flag. The guy off to the left there was having had the Come and Take It flag in his hand. I wasn't able to squeeze that into the shot, unfortunately. But yeah, so you know, if you are unhappy with what's been going on in the country and how the Constitution is just being shredded one word at a time, you know, go out and do something. Be proactive. You know, if we're gonna take back this country, then nothing short of that is going to be helpful. It's not going to do anything. You know, the people, the citizens of the United States of America used to have a lot of the power in this country. And that's not the case anymore. And it's time for us as the people to take it back. Let's take back our country, guys. Well, that's going to be it for me. I hope this was educational. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, feel free to comment, like, share, everything like that. You can find me at The Objectivity Factor on Facebook, on Twitter, and YouTube. Just look for The Objectivity Factor. And until next time, I'm Neo. Keep the peace.